All right, so we're back, and when we last left off, Marcus and Garrick. Well, the whole party was invited into the Quard leader Viridia's tent for a dinner, and Garrick and Marcus decided to get cleaned up and attend, and Dira and Dorian were because everyone worked, most of them worked in the mine or in the smithy, and were just all worn out. So Dira and Dorian turned in, but Marcus and Garrick decided to partake, and so they got cleaned up, and now they just entered the tent of Viridia, and Viridia stood up to greet them, and they see again the little sawed-off bastard Palakis of Horn,
No.
seated right to her right at this very long wooden table that's got 25 people in it, Quard people. And Palakis is just staring at these two, and he doesn't say anything, but he's just like staring, bloody murder and daggers. And Viridia stands up and says, "Welcome, please join us." And she makes a motion, and the attendants come, and everyone kind of scoots up, and she makes it known she's not putting you like at the far end of the table of disrespect. You know, everyone's kind of shuffling about, and you guys take position seated next. So the two of you are seated next to each other. Both of you are on the same side of this long table, seated next to each other, and you're about halfway down. You're about halfway down the table. So they get you plates and fix you up with this meal, and you both sit down, and or you both take your seats. And Viridia, you could all tell too, other than Palakis, everyone else was kind of confused why you're here or why you got invited here, but no one's going against their leader. So they're kind of confused, but just going with it, and no one's really saying much to you. But because, again, you guys have been around camp, you guys have been around here for a little while now. You're not absolute strangers. So they're just taking Viridia's lead, and you're now a part of this dinner meal. And Viridia says, welcome to our guests here. They've seen a number of things that a lot of us haven't seen ourselves yet. Maybe we could learn a thing or two from them. We're honored to have you at our table. Please, anything you want to dine on or have a drink, everything we have is yours. Please enjoy your meal. So she kind of holds up a little, not a super formal toast, but she just holds up and no one else joins in this toast, and it's not like the whole thing grinds to a halt, but she just makes a point of, verbalize that you guys are welcome here, and that you're people of some esteem, and you're just welcome into the meal. And so now the two of you are seated next to each other. And of course, while she's doing this, like, Palakis is just looking down the table at you guys, and he's so angry. But to be fair, you've never seen him any other way. Every time you've ever seen him, he's been very mad.
That's his normal.
So now you guys are seated at the table, beginning your meal. What do you guys do?
So, out of game, have we officially met and talked to Palakis before?
I
can't recall.
No, you've seen him across the river doing that little ritual he's done. He does the ritual 2 times a day, and I think at this point all of you have seen him partaking of this ritual, and you've seen him go.
But I thought we saw him earlier in the town, maybe.
He's the little freaky guy, right?
Yeah, he's the very short little guy.
Okay.
It's
kind of mad at him.
To my great shame, I actually can't remember if you guys. I don't think you guys have interacted with him directly yet. I don't believe so.
Okay.
Now's your chance.
Yeah. Okay. After she says all that, I like to grab a glass and kind of just in the air toast to her. You know, thank you for having us. You know, we do have stories to tell, and Palakis, good to see you again, sir. And then you're all fine
As
people.
soon as
Welcome.
as soon as
Thank you for having us.
as soon as you call out the name Palakis, because it's a huge, there's 20, 30 people here. It's a huge meal. There's like silverware clanging, it's not like it's dead silent. You can hear a pin drop and there's music playing. There's a good bit of background ambient noise. That's like a baseline level of ruckus and stuff going on. And so unless you're really projecting your voice, not everyone's going to hear you. But the main point of it is like as soon as you say Palakis, people who are like further down the table than you are, because you're like halfway down, you two, people who are like further down the table and maybe they're obscured from Viridia or something, as soon as you say Palakis, you hear some of them just go like like the Palakis is not like you get the sense that like Palakis is not respected amongst these people. But so as soon as
Which makes me toasting him even better.
Well, so it's just you can tell that. I mean, everyone reveres and respects Viridia, like that. You can tell everyone really respects her, but Palakis not so much. Anyway, what were you saying?
Yeah. So in a way, as I say it, I'm like, hey, scumbag at the end, good to see you again, type of thing, and no, but, and then I tell everybody like, it's an honor to be seated amongst great soldiers and fighters. Thank you for having us. And then I sit down and just have a drink and eat a little something. So
very good. Is Marcus?
Yeah.
Marcus, what's Marcus up to?
I'll I'll raise a glass and tell Viridia, thank you for inviting us to this grand feast, and that we humbly accept her gracious accommodations.
Kiss ass.
She puts down her cutlery and stuff and stops and like looks directly at you when you're addressing her directly and just keeps your gaze the whole time. And as you say your words of thanks, she receives them as appropriate and she nods respectfully towards you and she's following some kind of formal protocol of like a respectful back and forth. She's honoring you and your words as you say this, and she acknowledges your gratitude and receives it as appropriate for someone of her station.
So does this meal gathering, banquet or whatever, does it appear to be like a special event, or would we know if it's like, is this kind of their every night dinner get together? Is this special? You know what I mean?
You don't know that. Are you? I mean, are you asking someone, or are you just asking the GM?
I guess I'm just. I don't know if it would be a knowledge check or something, but I mean, in general, do we get that sense or perception?
Well, it's hard to say because you've only been in her tent, I believe, one other time, and it looks the same. It's very ornate. Like I've said a number of times now, it's like super fancy, plush, nicer than anything you guys have ever seen. It's super high roller, and they have this table set up for this dinner. You can't detect or perceive if this is just a normal Tuesday night or if this is some big deal. You don't know. Yet you don't know. No, there's no one talking about anything important yet. It's just all small talk and those damn fire beasts and what are we gonna do and when's So I'll say like as we'll fast forward here like a half hour or so, unless you want to do something right now. We'll say the meal's going on and people are kind of chit-chatting you and talking, nothing super serious or detailed, but you hear, some people grumbling about, when is Zertorm going to send us, or, what's he waiting for? You hear sentiments like that. You hear tons of complaining about the Galdanes, that other horse people group on the other side of Augerville to the south. These two groups do not like each other, but they're both of these groups have sworn allegiance to Zertorm, and he doesn't want Zertorm does not want these groups fighting, so they're not going to, even though they want to. They really disrespect each other, and they don't like each other, and they wish that they had different allies, but Zertorm has said, you will not fight. You are fighting for me. I am your leader, and you'll do as I say. But so they're obeying, but they're disgruntled about it. So you hear plenty of bitching and moaning about that. Is there anything else you want to specifically listen for, or any topics you want to try to introduce with anyone?
Yeah, I'd like to, ask people more about some fire demons or whatever they've encountered, and how close proximity to this town of
Amber's Peak.
Amber's Peak. How close to the town some of these attacks have been, and how recent. Seeing if and I don't know how often these people all venture out, in their days or nights, or they always just stationed here.
Well, the first time, if you recall, the first time you ever saw the Cords was when you guys were still a few, 12 miles out. You were a number of hexes away. I don't recall. You were a hex or two away, and the first time you saw the Cords was this roving patrol group, if you had to guess, of them coming back, and you had an interaction with them. So they patrol the lands, and so what you gather is that all these fire attacks, and these fire creatures, fire boars, all these damn things they've really picked up in the last year, 18 months. Pretty much since the mist lifted, the blood mist lifted. That's pretty much when it started.
Okay.
And did you have another question as well, you said? Or was that what you wanted to know?
No, that's good. And then I was wondering, wanted to ask some people about Zertorm, right? That's going to send them out. The army that they're amassing. Nobody knows for sure, but he's disgruntled as when they're going to go out and start battling. Or
there's this is a warrior people. There's a lot of them that just want to get up and start kicking something's ass. They're just sitting here in camp, kind of practicing and doing drills, but they're not really fighting. They're just practicing and They want to go out and start. There's a number of these people who want to just go out and start killing some damn things, and they're not. Zertorm's, for reasons they don't know, they're being held back and being forced to just wait and bide their time until Zertorm is ready. And there's just a handful of people here who are upset about having to wait. They want to go fight now.
This could be some recruits for us if we want to go back to that keep. I don't know. Hey, you guys want to practice?
I don't know. I think it would be best if we talked over with Viridia first. Poaching her warriors, she might hunt us down for that.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
So, Marcus, did you want to ask something?
Point at the food. Is this coriander?
Oh my!
Can I get the recipe to this?
This is excellent.
Some of the ice, some like there's one represented, because again this is a mostly martial, physical fighting force. This isn't a band of roving sorcerers. These are like swords and arrows and spear. These are fighters. It as a general makeup of this fighting force, but of course the Cord people do have a small contingent of these sorcerer magic wielders, and at this entire table of 25 people, there's exactly one of them who is allowed, who is at this table, and he was one of them that went and trained with Marcus in that tent with the other elementalists and the other magic users. And when Marcus starts going off about coriander and the one that was like working with Marcus and sort of knows him, like subtly like puts his hand up like don't just stop, just you're embarrassing us.
I was gonna say, you gotta eat good food to be able to fight.
You need
right?
meat. You need meat to fight. You got plenty of meat. Eat up.
All right.
Vegetarians out here fighting.
And so as you're talking, so as the meal goes on, you see Polakis. You're talking and chit chatting and everything, and fairly low key. And as the meal goes on, we'll say it's now 7:00, and so like an hour into the meal, Viridia stands up and she, of course, everyone stops and the music stops, and she says that we will now hear from our high priest with news from Zirtorm. And she looks down at Polakis and says, "Polakis, the floor is yours." And she sits down at her seat, and Polakis stands up. And he starts talking.
Stand up.
He stands up, and he starts, he starts talking, and people in the back, all the way at the other end of the table, are like, "Speak up, we can't hear you." And he stands up on his chair. So now, he stands up on his chair, and he's used to it. He's like the super short. He's heard short man jokes his whole life. He's over it. He doesn't get super furious about it. He just knows he's always going to get teased about it for the rest of his life, and he's just resigned. But he has all this power. He's like this very small statured man, but he has all this access to Zirtorm that no one else, none of these other people, none of them, only him. He's the only one, and he knows. So you can tell his disposition is like, yeah, you all make fun of me for being a little sawed-off bastard, but I'm the one that gets to see the boss, and I know what's really going on here, and you don't. So he stands up on the chair, and he says that, and he makes a point not to stare right at you two, but he's addressing everyone, but he's mostly looking at you two. You can just tell he's mostly telling this to you, to Garrick and Marcus, and he says, tomorrow we're doing the ceremony, the rock ceremony. It will be tomorrow. We're performing it at noon, and Zirtorm has said that this year we will have outsiders perform it, people who are not from Amber's Peak. That is his decree. It is happening tomorrow. And when he says that, like, everyone at the table is kind of like, silent. No one's making fun of him anymore. No one's snickering. It kind of takes a serious turn at the table. All these people know what he's talking about. You guys, I don't believe you guys know yet what he's talking about. But, he looks at you, and he has kind of, you swear you see he has kind of a smirk on his face. He's very pleased to be sharing this news that the ceremony is going on tomorrow, and that Zertorm has decreed it tomorrow at noon. And he sits down and resumes his meal, and he starts digging into his plate, all super happy.
So
I leaned next to the person next to me, and I was like, I could probably shove him all the way up my navel. He talked about.
He the guy next to you just he just laughs he can't hold it in. He laughs and he's just and he just stuffs his face, to try not to draw too much attention. And he's laughing at your awesome humor. He doesn't want to get in trouble.
I'd like to ask,
he doesn't want to get in trouble from Viridia for laughing at Plakis.
I'd like to ask Viridia, who are these outsiders he refers to? And it's not us, is
This
it?
guy?
I mean, we didn't have any practice time. No.
All of you guys look around the room. Viridia kind of looks at you. And Viridia looks around everyone in the room. Everyone in this room is Quards except 2 people. She's like, well, it's not the Quards. It's not going to be the Galdanes. She kind of just looks at you like...
So it sounds like we got to get out of town if we don't want to be part of this. I don't know. Can I ask Plakis, is Zertorm going to be present at this ceremony, at this ritual?
Of course he is, Plakis. Yeah, of course he'll be there.
Does he stay up in the castle there?
He does whatever he wants. He's the lord of this entire realm. He goes where he pleases, when he pleases. That's his home. He does stay at the keep, yes, but he is many places at many times.
I lean in, into Garrick and I, all quietly say, we need to find out if this is sacrificial, realistic magic.
Yeah, right.
Ritual magic.
Outsiders to perform the sacrifice, as in we volunteer. We didn't see a lot of this practice before in detail. I mean, we saw them doing something.
Is this something that is this a special one that they only do once a year? Because the way he made it sound was that he's like, this year we're gonna have them perform it.
Yeah. I was waiting to see if one of you guys were just gonna ask someone specifically, yes.
Yeah, in character, no.
Yeah.
You can ask somebody.
Okay, so if you want to get clarification on what do you want to ask Viridia or Plakis or someone else?
Might be good to ask Viridia afterward.
If you don't want to ask right there.
Audience with her, yeah.
Okay.
Because if she's, telling us this, we're not going to stick around, and then she might get in trouble by the big man.
Okay.
You want to be secretive and hide certain things we're going to ask of her from him.
Okay. Yeah. Won't be discreet.
Okay. God, is there... I'd like to ask somebody next to me, just randomly, hey, or even Viridia, I guess, what is this ritual exactly? Not necessarily.
It's just a Thanksgiving ritual we do every year to honor the goddess Flo, for providing this bounteous river that we fish from, and it provides us so much sustenance in life, fish and mussels that we dive for, and obviously our water. It's a life spring to us that it's just an annual Thanksgiving celebration. It's a celebratory festival, and normally, and she's like, in the past, Zertorm does as he does, but the past few years we've done as a way of trying to inspire the two horse peoples to work together, because it takes 4 people to do the ceremony correctly, and Zertorm has ordered that 2 Galdanes and 2 Quards participate in this ritual, and that's how we've done it the last 2 years. But yeah, there's a rock that's heated up, and then we bring it down to the water and cool it off with the river water, and that's all it is. It's a very short ceremony, but it's a whole day of feasting and celebrating too.
Interesting. That doesn't sound too bad, but I don't trust it. I feel like there's more to it.
We'll say if they're trying to get us to do it, how many of us can ride horses, like proficiently?
Everyone can ride a horse. Now
I said proficiently.
Well, depend. So that means if there's a horse rider skill, meaning like if you put points into it, you can do things. I think like level 1 horse rider means you can fire a bow and arrow from horseback. You can be more of like a super horse fighter, but anyone can get on a horse and gallop and ride it without having to fall off. Without, you know what I mean? So like just maneuvering on a horse, all of you can do that. Fighting and getting into like combat skills and things, that's where the horse points come in.
Okay.
And also all of you have a skill for animal handling too. So when you move your person around, like dodging and whatever, you use a move skill, but if you're on a horse or an animal, there's a skill called animal handling that you guys all have various points in, most of the time 0, but so if it comes to it, if you come to any kind of roll like that you need to do on animal back, then you would roll that.
Okay.
I got a point in it. I'm good.
And again, most of you are human, so if you got to that point where you had to make an animal handling roll, you could convince me to use your adaptable trait and roll some other skill. If you don't have, you know what I mean? That's the whole crutch of humans, is you get to roll whatever skill you really want to use. So is there anything else you guys want to talk about or listen for or anything else during this meal?
I like to ask anybody if they know of a group of dwarven horse riders that have been seen to the north. And there's talks of them reclaiming a dwarven stronghold, Vond or whatever it is. I remember we ran into them looking for that kid Tobin.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I wonder if any of them know anything about that. Were they Galdane riders?
Yeah, they were Galdanes with Arvia of Crom. That's right, they're all Galdanes. So if you ask about that, they'll say, yeah, there was, months ago now, a whole group of, and they kind of chuckle when you bring it up. They laugh because the Galdanes are so undisciplined and, they lack structure. So many of them defected away from Zertorm's army and went to join that foolish dwarf with her little army, her little ragtag upstart roving band. She's just some dwarf woman. She's not the prophet of Horn like Zertorm is. So they kind of, when you bring that up, they kind of chuckle like, "Oh yeah, we know those Galdanes. Tons of them left, weaken their force, the fools." So yeah, none of them have encountered Arvia specifically.
Okay.
But they know when the Galdanes, in their views, they frame it like they were traitors, and they were traitors to Zertorm's army and left his army to go join hers. That's how these Cord people frame it.
Okay. I'd like to ask if there's I just mingle around the room, I guess, with my drink and see if I can ask if there's anybody in the room that has been part of that ceremony that's going to happen tomorrow night or tomorrow at noon. If any of them have partaked in the ceremony, been actually part of the ritual.
Yeah, a guy at the end, he's like, I did it 2 years ago. I did it, and all we did was we took off our armor and our outerwear, and we put on a plain white cloth robe, very like the most modest thing a person can wear, just a single sheet white robe, and we walked down to the riverside, and we laid this enormous rock with water. We scooped water out of the river, all four of us, with these large, shovels, basically, and like just dumped water onto this rock 3 times, each of us. And the rock was extremely hot, and we laid this water on top of it 3 times, and the steam came off the rock, and it cooled the rock. That was it. And that's what you've seen when he's describing this. That's what you've seen, and Palakis is like looking, and like he's looking down at this guy and nodding, and that's what you saw Palakis doing when he's doing his little practice ritual things. He's not actually doing that, but when this guy's explaining it, that's what that you're like, oh, okay, that's what Palakis was doing. He's just, it's just very simple. There's nothing fancy and complicated about it. And so you're kind of wondering, why was even Palakis spending so much time practicing? It's such a simple thing to do. But that's what he was doing. So that's all that the ritual entails, is cooling off this enormous hot rock with the river water.
I feel like there's more to it.
Well, you can do if you want to try to do some sort of roll to see if you think he's lying to you.
Yeah. I'd like to
do a insight roll.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay. I don't think I have any sort of talent that would help me. No. Okay. Ooh. All right.
You succeed. You can tell. You look into, and he's telling you the truth. I mean, that's all he did, and it jibes with what you've seen Palakis do.
I'd like to ask him. So you've done this ritual, and it cools off the rock. When you're done, do you feel different? I mean, is there something different in the environment when you're done?
No, it's not for us. It's for Flo. It's a ritual of thanksgiving for her, for blessing us and blessing this river. That's how she wants us to, honor her, and that's what we do. We're already blessed every day being by this river. All those bounteous fish that never cease, and these mussels that are the people on the river in Augerville, they dive. We have a whole industry there. I mean, we're a blessed place here, and we're just giving thanks because this is a harsh land, as I'm sure you guys know.
So, Flo, is that an actual female person, or is it a goddess?
It's the goddess of water.
Okay. All right. Marcus, is there something you want to ask her? You there, Robert?
I'm thinking. No, I don't think so.
I think now is kind of, we just want to wait and ask more privately questions to Viridia.
Okay.
So you want to?
Yeah, that's fine. That's
okay. So yeah, the meal continues on, and we'll say you guys started at 6. We'll say it goes till 9 o'clock. It's a whole banquet. it's a whole evening entertainment here with the music and the drinks and the food and just the talking with each other and so then at 9:00 Verdi rises up and says, all right, everyone, thank you so much for joining. You're all dismissed. Sleep well, and we'll see you all at the ceremony tomorrow. And she doesn't even make a motion or anything. She just states this, and like the two guards who are posted outside, they come in, they hold the tent flap open, and they just give looks to everyone, and everyone starts like filing out orderly, no lollygagging around. And so all of you come out, and Palakis is the only one left. And he's whispering something, not whispering, but he's just saying something quietly to Viridia. And she's just like, and then makes a gesture to him, and he is dismissed. And he walks past the two of you out the tent, and he's just like looking up at you, just kind of, he's not out and out smirking and laughing, but he's just like,
I'll see you tomorrow.
yeah, he's pleased about something, but he's not like laughing
directly over his head. And be like, hey, where'd that one guy go? Did he leave yet?
Everyone check under your shoes. Where's Palakis? Yeah. He just and he just walks off into the night. And now it's the two of you. The guards are kind of looking at you. So, do you want to leave or do you want to stay and ask Viridia?
What'd you want to ask her, Robert?
I wanted to ask her, like, if this is like one of Palakis' schemes. If he sets something up to fail during the ceremony, we would probably end up taking the blame for that.
She looks kind of confused. For a second, she looks kind of confused. But then she realizes, you guys are outsiders and this is weird. And she was kind of confused too. I mean, she's never had this where outsiders have done it, but so you can see her kind of like thinking about it too. But then she's like, there's nothing to fail. It's not a test. She's like, it's just a ceremonial act of Thanksgiving. It's not like a performance that you have to, she's like, you'll be fine. There's nothing you can fail at doing. You're not, it's not like you're trying to shoot an arrow right through some bullseye and you can miss and screw things up. It's just like you cool off this rock with water and that's it. It's not a test of skill or strength or anything. It's just a demonstration of gratitude. And she's like, I don't know why Zertorm has ordained that you all must do it, but she's like, I can't think of a time in the past that's happened, but I've seen this ceremony myself so many times that there's nothing is going to happen. It's just we wet the rock and it cools the rock and we go about celebrating and having more feast. She looks around the table. We just continue feasting and celebrating. It's a joyous and fun day. Maybe she's like, have you seen Zertorm?
No, at least not that I know of.
You would know if you saw him. She's like, she's kind of confused why Palakis had this message that you guys were selected. She doesn't know why either. So she's kind of intrigued herself. But she's done everything she can to reassure you guys, like you're not going to be in any kind of danger or anything, or in danger of screwing something up. It's not that kind of a test.
Okay.
I'd like to ask her that we have reason to believe, just from things we've observed, maybe you're just, no dishonor to you, but we've observed some things that may lead us to believe that Palakis is not being forthcoming with all this information and what he has planned. But do we have your back if something goes awry? Can you jump in and help us? I mean, are you gonna be there, just on the side of the river, watching?
Yeah,
I'd like to ask her that.
You've seen where Polakis does the ceremony. It's over on the guard camp across the river. The townsfolk and we horse people, everyone observes from our side of the river. She's just kind of, she's confused. She's like, nothing's going to happen. I mean, she's like, I don't know. She's like, I can't go against Zertorm. I mean, she doesn't know what to say. You know what I mean? It's like, it's so beyond, like, she doesn't have this kind of, she's not a player character. She's an NPC. Right. She doesn't have this kind of conspiratorial mindset of like, something's going to happen. It's just because she lives this this is her however manyth ceremony, and she's never seen any, so you can tell. So did you say something about Polakis right there in your question?
Yeah, asking that we feel like we've observed and seen that.
Yeah, okay, yeah. No, she's like Polakis is, and she just trails off. She doesn't finish. She's like, I don't know why Polakis has been embraced by Zertorm and why I don't know if Zertorm has Polakis's ear or the other way around. I don't know. Polakis is our high priest. They have a religious, spiritual connection, and Polakis teaches our people that Zertorm is the prophet of Horn, our god from Azleen, the volcano lava god. That's the official teaching of Polakis to our people. And when she's saying this, you don't even need to roll. You can tell, like, she doesn't necessarily believe that. That's the party line. That's the official doctrinal statement from this guy Polakis, is that Zertorm up there is the actual prophet of this god. And that's how serious of a relationship they have. He's not just a king or the lord of this land as far as Polakis is concerned. Polakis is saying, no, this is the actual prophet of a actual literal god walking amongst us. That's how, she's trying to convey, like, that's the seriousness of this relationship that these two have, and she's not a part of it. She runs the war camp. She is like the war master, but that whole relationship, that's above her pay grade. But she doesn't, and so that makes her very uneasy because she doesn't have information, just like you don't. She doesn't she does not told. She's not in on it. She never has gone across the river and gone to the keep herself. She is kept, like everyone else. She is kept at an arm's length, at a distance, and so there's this constant air of mystery, and so she doesn't trust Polakis. She can't trust him fully because there's just too much secrecy, and you can't trust someone to a very high degree with that much secrecy, and yeah. But she has seen this ritual that you're going to be a part of, and she's seen it over and over again for many, many, many times, and nothing has ever happened specifically about this ritual. So that part she feels comfortable saying, yeah, you can be a part of that.
All right. So, I think based on all those things we're gathering here, I feel like being part of this ceremony will probably be a good thing for us and get us closer to Zertorm. Not that that maybe is a good idea, but it's going to get us a lot more information than we have now. I don't know.
So she says, so you'll do it?
I look around to,
it's just you and Marcus.
What do you think, Marcus? You think everybody else is going to be with us?
Dira might take some convincing.
Might.
Let's tell her, It's a little Sunday picnic on the other side of the river, the beach.
Oh.
So she nods and she puts her hand out towards the tent door. She's like, "Thank you for joining us. I am honored that you joined us for our meal. Have a pleasant rest of your evening."
Say the honor is all ours. Thank you.
So you two walk out, and then the guards shut the flap of the tent behind you, and the two of you are off into the night. It's 9:00. Do you want to? You can, as soon as you step out, again, the two of you hear raucous, amazing sounding party from Augur's Tavern. Still, Marigold is throwing down, and it's a enormous, amazing party that you kind of got wrapped up in earlier. That's still happening. Deer and Dorian still out cold. What do you guys want to do, or do you guys just want to turn in?
I think I need to turn in because I don't know if this is accurate, but my
Yeah, I
sheet
think you're
says I'm
tired.
sleepy.
Yeah, I believe you became tired at 6 p.m. this evening. So yeah, you have the sleeping condition now.
Yeah, I want to turn in.
Okay, Marcus.
I hold myself back from joining the rave and go to bed.
Against your
Aw.
Well, Marcus already partook of it way more than he ever even wanted to, but earlier.
That's right.
He kind of lost track of time there for a second and found himself front row. So we'll say the evening is over. So we'll fast forward to midnight. So now mechanically, Dira and Dorian have rested. You guys can wake up now at midnight if you want. Do you guys want to wake up and do anything, or do you want to stay in bed till morning? What do you guys do? The two of you want to do anything?
I think I'll sleep.
Okay.
Where are we at?
You're up here. So this is this whole area here is the Cord camp, and you're just up in a tent.
We're staying in one of their tents.
Yeah.
Okay.
Correct.
Okay. I wanna wake up and file and sign
So it's the dead. It's the dead of night now. I mean, the guards are out. The whole town shut down. It's like earlier. It was like dinner time. Now it's like middle of the night. Everyone's sleeping except the guards are out. That's kind of the setting here. So what do you want to do?
Okay. Here, I wanna walk around just a little bit and just kind of like I'm going to the bathroom, but I make a little further walk to kind of see if there's anything going on.
Okay. Which way do you want to walk into Augurville? I guess to where the lights are, or do you want to walk? Which way do you want to go?
Yeah.
I see your mount. See the main strip there.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then maybe down here and take a look this direction, but then walk back to the tent.
Okay. So as you walk by, now we'll see. So it's midnight. The other three are sleeping. Dorian gets an itch, and he walks down, and now when you walk in front of Augur Seventh Cousin's tavern / bathhouse, Marigold is still there and she's still playing, but now it's not anthem rock anymore with the whole. Now it's a MTV unplugged vibe. She's sitting there and she's the crowd is thin quite a bit. There's maybe a half a dozen Galdanes. These are all Galdanes. No cords in here at all. Only Galdanes. And there's 6 of them left sitting at a table, and the lights are all the candle lights are much more dim now. It's much darker in there, and she's got like a single candle right by the stage where she's now seated, and she's still playing and singing now. And as you walk by outside, the doors are open. So as you walk by, you look in there and you see Augur seventh cousin cleaning up, and a couple other serving girls, wenches, serving, cleaning up, and wiping down tables and turning up chairs and everything. And Marigold's there playing these just incredibly sad and slow, somber songs, just heart-wrenching, just extremely sad music. And that's what you hear when you walk by. Do you want to keep walking?
Yeah, I want to keep walking.
Okay. So as you walk, so you keep walking.
I want to walk all the way down.
Okay. So as you keep walking, you take a step or two because it's dark, but I mean the light of the establishment's kind of lighting the path. You see plenty well enough. And so what you notice is as you walk, let's say you take a couple 2 or 3 steps, and every 2-3 steps you look inside the establishment again just to see, and okay, so as you're walking by, there's Marigold, and as you walk by, she's playing and she's looking right at you. She's looking at you out in the street, in the pathway, and again, her eyes are glowing, this golden glow. That's every time you've ever seen her, that her eyes are like that. When you saw her in the swamp, every time you've ever seen her eyes are like glowing, bright gold, not demon red looking like everything. All these demon creature things you've seen have had this red fire, lava, demon glow. Her eyes are glowing, just bright golden.
And we're talking like light coming from our eyes.
It just means
sparkle.
You can see from where you're at out in the dark hall, dim streetway pathway here. You look in there and she's looking right at you, and you see, like when you watch like documentary shows and like they'll show like the leopard's eyes in the night light, and it has that flash, where like where light hits the eye and the light reflects perfectly back out of the eye. You know what I'm saying? With that night vision where the eyes of the animals will glow when they look right at the camera. Like if you watch like nature documentaries, I'm saying, you'll see how their eyes glow. Her eyes glow like that, regardless of how she's looking. Her eyes are always glowing golden.
Damn.
I think we lost Joe, or he's holding very still.
You there, Joe? Oh.
My explanation was so intense. He got like enraptured. He couldn't move.
Yeah.
He was in a trance from
my amazing GMing like put him in a trance.
I don't know. I think my internet is not that great.
Like he couldn't move, and he ended up peeing himself. Now
Hammered.
it happens all the time.
That's why I'm in this sleep bag.
There you
every
go.
Session.
That's fun. We'll see how much of that he caught when he reboots here. If he reboots.
What is Dira gonna do?
She said she wanted to sleep.
I'm saving up all my energy.
That's
So
right.
you guys are going to sacrifice me.
Because Marcus came back and told you all about this ritual will be part of. It's gonna be great. You're gonna love it.
I just got frustrated.
So now is Marcus and Dira, are you guys a couple in the game?
No.
Okay. I couldn't tell.
Wait. Let's get Marcus's opinion.
Yeah. Marcus is from
Dira
Marcus.
so quickly said no.
From Marcus's point of view.
Handbrake.
From Marcus's point of view, is Marcus and Dira a couple in this game?
No, she's a bit too uncouth for me.
Oh, nice.
No, that'd be perfect. Yeah, if Dira's like, "Get away from me, scum," and Marcus is like, "Oh, I really love you."
That's
But she's
hilarious.
like, "Stay away from me."
That's hilarious.
Yeah, sorry, my internet was it's crazy.
That's okay. Did you hear what I was saying when your question was like about her eyes? Did you hear what I was saying?
Yeah, but it was really good. But I think it cut out like halfway through. Yeah. So her eyes are glowing gold,
Yes.
and yeah.
Yeah, and she's
Anything else?
she looks right at you, and as you walk by, you just again see this golden glow in her eyes, And as you walk, if you just continue walking, she just ends up behind a wall somewhere, and she's gone. But she was looking right at you with the golden eyes. So as you keep walking, doing your little tour of the town here, the smithy is. The lights are on and everything because there's just so many valuables there. This is like the war chest, all the weapons, the armor, everything is just built and stored here. And so there's constantly having lights. It's like a warehouse or a storage area. There's lights on at all times, so no one, not that anyone really would, but just prevent people from robbing it, stealing hardware and all this. So there's a guard posted there, but there's no work being done. It's the middle of the night. You see that? And then did you say you wanted to cross the bridge, or did you want to head down to the Galdanes?
No, I just wanted to stand like here at this crossroad and look towards the castle and stuff. I mean,
just kind of take it in. Yeah, so it's a beautiful evening. It's cool, clear. I mean, a little bit of rolling cloud, but nothing crazy. The moon's out. It's a beautiful night, and you see the drawbridge down the other side of the bridge. You guys had an interaction down there a while ago, and you see that, and there's that glowing keep. It's just so mysterious and strange. These crazy supernatural colors up there that you were in, and so as you sit up there and as you stand here at this crossroads and you look up at the tower at the keep, you just remember how utterly bizarre that was. Everything about that place. You were there and, kind of skulking around this keep in the middle of broad daylight. And, you guys you and Dira got up to the very top, and you two were up there, and just you're remembering now, because even how far away you are now, it's still bright. And you can see, and it's just completely unnatural. And you remember what it was like standing in it and right around it, and how blindingly bright it was, and confusing and strange, hot and cold, weirdness. So that's kind of and then that whoever that woman was, so all that kind of stuff kind of flashes back in your mind as you look up at the keep. But then you guys left, and it's just a big. Every time you learn something about this place, it just turns into more of some damn mystery.
Yeah.
So we haven't.
Okay.
I mean, everybody talking about Zeratorm. We haven't heard that it's like a man or a woman, have we?
No, it's a he. Because the very first time you guys interacted, and Dira, they said, what are you doing here? And Dira said something like, "This is our land." And that just made them laugh their asses off, because no, you're on Zeratorm's land, and he's your lord when you're here. No, it's a guy.
Okay. I want to turn around and walk back to my tent, but I want to. Yeah, when I walk past like the tavern, I want to see if she's what's her name?
Marigold.
Marigold. If she's still playing.
She's not.
Oh.
We'll say you stood at this We'll say you stood at the crossroads there and looked at the keep and just thought about things for 10 minutes or so. Just kind of lost in thought and recollecting and piecing together what the hell you guys saw and didn't see, and what the hell's going on around this place. And so it was a good 10, 15 minutes you were out there just kind of taking in the night air. And then when you walk back, she is not there.
Okay. Has everybody kind of left at that point?
The only person there is Augur. The door's shut. All the patrons are gone. There's no Galdanes in there. There's no Marigold. There's just one final light at the bar where Augur's seventh cousin is cleaning up, and he's about done for the night. And the door to the establishment is shut.
Okay. I'm just gonna head back to the tent and head back to bed. Maybe stop by the bathroom.
That should be a condition on our sheet.
Gotta
have to go bathroom.
Gotta go. So as
Or
you
one
walk
end of
by,
it.
there's very little light coming from the keep or from the tavern, and as you walk back, you fully get back into the moonlight and the darkness on the path, and you hear, "Why didn't you stop in?"
Damn, what? Somewhat bad. What? Okay, I have my battle axe. Okay,
Dude.
I want my hand on the battle axe, and I want to slowly
Hey,
turn around
hey,
to see who it was.
you're
who
the
said that.
one. You're the one that chose to walk out by yourself in the middle of the night. That's all I'm saying.
Uh,
Do you reach for your weapon?
was it the? I mean, is it obvious that it's that one lady with the glowing eyes, Marigold?
You turn and look, and it's pitch black. All you see are two golden glowing things. You can't see anything
okay.
else.
That's got to be handy.
Okay, I wanna say it's like it's like I beg your pardon, but I had other tasks to attend to. Didn't have time to be married by music or whatever.
What task do you have in the middle of the night, wandering around in the dark? Are
Uh,
you? She's like, "Are you a thief?" She's like slowly walking towards you.
uh-oh. Uh-oh.
She's not. She's just slowly walking toward you, and now she's like in the moonlight. Again, she's beautiful, tall, blonde hair, just gorgeous. And she's slowly walking towards you, and again with the eyes just glowing, and you can tell now it's light enough you can see she's just got this amused, as best you can tell, it's just an amused and humored look talking to you. And she's like, "What are you up to in the middle of the night, being busy? Are you some kind of thief?" And she just takes another couple steps towards you.
So yeah, I just want to laugh and I say it's like it's like I'll tell you what I do in the night if you tell me what you're doing.
I was just hoping you'd stop in. I was playing a song for you.
Huh.
You saw what I was doing.
I want to ask it's like who are you? Why do you play these songs for people?
Because they love them. Didn't you see? Why do you do what you do?
Too much.
She says, "Why do you do what you do?" I do this because people love it, and people love me.
But yeah, so I'll tell her like I'm trying to protect people, or I'm trying to free this land, from these wretched fire beasts.
She nods at that, and she's like, "Yeah, that's why I'm so glad you're here. I saw you in the swamp, and you handled that enormous serpent with." And she like again from what you
I
can.
wasn't like.
Oh, that's true. Damn it. Okay. She's like, "Well, yeah, you're." Sorry. Yeah. She's like, "Yeah, you guys, your party did handle that serpent with more ease, and I was completely impressed by that. So I am glad that you all made your way down here." She's like, so what are you gonna do tomorrow? Are you guys gonna be a part of the ritual?
I asked her, like, should we?
Absolutely.
And if we attend this ritual, what will we get in return?
You'll get to say you laid the rock, and you outsiders got to partake in Amber's Peak, Thanksgiving ritual. No one's done that in a long time.
Okay. Dang. There's like 1,000 questions that I want to ask her. Let me see. I asked, it's like, have you been to the castle? Do you know what happens up there?
She says. She says. She blinks a couple times and she says, "Have you been to the castle?"
Oh, this is where like my bluffing is not gonna be great.
When you asked
Hmm.
her, have you been to the castle? She just laughs, and then she asks you. She doesn't answer you, but she says, "Have you been to the castle?"
Oh no. Do I think uh can I tell if this is the same? I mean, did I see did I at some point did Dorian did he ever see this the lady that was in the castle? Or was that only Marcus?
Oh no.
What do you mean now?
I think you were
No,
up
no,
there.
no. You and Dira were both up at the top of the
Yeah.
keep, and you guys were
Yeah.
kind of debating on whether you wanted to go down that other second spiral staircase. And that's when you heard someone say, "Help me, help me!" And she ended up coming up
Yeah.
the staircase and kind of crazily stalking towards you guys. And you guys booked it down the staircase. You
Oh,
came,
okay, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. You were both up there. You saw that. That's not. This is
And
not. That's not who this is. That was
not
just
the
some
same
woman.
lady.
Yeah, that's no. This is Marigold. Is I mean that other lady you saw was she looked like I guess I would say a normal woman, except for the fact that she could like spontaneously combust and turn into fire seemingly at will.
Yeah.
But
Oh, see,
otherwise,
that's what I'm saying.
when
Is
she
like, I
was
mean, I'm wondering.
yeah, when she was a woman, she just looked like a normal woman. Marigold does not look
Okay.
normal, like with the eyes.
Okay.
She's too beautiful and
Okay.
perfect looking, and then the eyes is like something's going on.
Or wall-eyed.
What was that?
What'd you say?
Because he kept saying, there's something special about her eyes. There's something going on there. And she's wall-eyed.
Yeah, nice.
Oh man. Yeah. Shoot. Okay, so she asked me, "He's like, have I been up to the castle?"
She's not really. She doesn't really want to know.
Yeah.
She's just. It's like a rhetorical trick on you, because you asked. So she's just, she's just kind of playing games with you. She's like, "Have you been in the castle?"
Okay. I just want to pretend like I kind of like didn't even hear what she was saying, and just say, "He's like, well,
That's
where
what
are you
she's
going now?"
That's what she's doing to you. Yeah. So, what was your question?
He's like, where are you going now?
I'm pretty tired. I'm gonna go rest. What about you?
Okay. Yeah.
Dude,
I
you
tell
gotta
her
take
that.
one for the team, Joe. You gotta go sleep with her, get some more information. Just kidding.
I don't know if dwarves are her type. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean she's like a foot taller than you. Not that you probably care, but I mean she's a tall person. Statuesque and all that.
We'll ask her. Will we see you at the ceremony tomorrow?
I will be there. I'm so excited to watch you. To watch all of you.
Interesting.
Dude, she's so into you right now.
She says,
Okay. Yeah.
She's like, "Here, I'll tell you what. You've done so well around here, the four of you. You've been up to many exciting things, and you're starting to learn so much. Tell me, I will give you one question you want me to ask Zertorm. Tell me what it is, and I will ask him, and I'll tell you what his answer is."
So she'll like go and ask him a question of. Okay. Dang. Now I wish I would have had like the entire party around me. It's like, all right, guys, what do we want?
Well, I mean, you guys have
we do.
you guys have had meals together. You guys have talked amongst each
Yeah.
other a bunch of times. You're all in this way.
Yeah.
You guys are all up to speed. You guys all know the same amount of stuff. So, you would, you can talk and figure out whatever question you want to ask.
Yeah.
Okay.
She gives you one question.
Maybe like
Maybe
Or-
like,
or
who's your
if you don't-
created the
if you-
fire beast,
or if
how
you-
do we stop the fire beast?
Or if you don't want to know, if you don't want to ask Zertorm a question, she'll tell you one answer about Amber's Peak. Just the whole, everything about it.
Maybe ask her what Zertorm or what is going on up in that keep.
Yeah, I was gonna say, who's the
With all the
fire
mist.
lady?
Who's the fire lady?
Yeah, like
Yeah,
what,
on the
what's
keep.
going on with that?
I don't know. I'm trying to think of a question that's even more fundamental. Like
Where it's not
what
gonna
is
be a vague answer.
what
Was
is
one
yeah,
plus
yeah.
one?
Yeah.
Chicken.
Like
Not real
the
good at math.
like the philosopher Hadaway once asked, "What is love? Baby, don't hurt me." Yeah,
Perfect. That's what I want.
that's disgusting.
And I repeat myself, what is love? What yeah,
If the
yeah.
duck had lips,
guess-
could it whistle?
Yeah, I think that something to keep like
Or you can ask Zertorm something.
maybe yeah, what is
He might know more than she does. You don't know.
maybe who controls fire beasts or fire demons?
Yeah,
Something like that.
that may be good.
We find out and then we kill
Yeah.
I would say,
him.
you're a wise dwarf. I would say you get a vibe doing this that this is one of those like a trickster, like like they'll hold your specific words against you. Like if you ask something that's not you just get this I'll say you get this sense that like if you ask something, she will tell you the truth, but if you ask something not exactly right, you know what I mean? Like you have to use, I'll say you have a sense that you need to use your words very carefully.
Like, don't expose any idea of the fact that we're up at the keep.
Yeah. Exactly.
Or I mean, if you said something like, the reason I said that is because you were musing out loud what your question was going to be, and you said something like, "What is the nature of the beasts?" The nature of them is to kill everything. That's their nature, And she wouldn't be lying. That is their nature, but that's not what you're actually wanting to know. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let's say who's controlling the beast? Where do
Yeah.
these fire beasts come from? I feel like it's that lady up in the keep.
Yeah. Maybe I'll tell her just like because she knows that I'm a dwarf,
Mm-hmm.
kind of I don't imagine there's a lot of dwarfs around, so she probably knows of the group of dwarves traveling around the area
Old Land Riders.
trying to destroy the beast. But I'll tell her again, like, me and my people are here to try to stop these demons, and we want to know who's controlling them.
The demons or the fire creatures?
Yeah, the fire creatures. Yeah.
Okay, so she looks and of course she's always 5 steps ahead. Whatever your question was actually going to be, she knew you were going to ask it because that's how she is. She says, Zertorm creates them.
So he wants an army to kill them, but he's creating them.
Zertorm creates. He has a laboratory.
Why?
He has a laboratory, and he works with her to try to create all various manners of beasts, trying to perfect trying to perfect creatures that he can command in battle.
And she just said, Marigold just said that he works with her.
Mm-hmm.
Those were her words. Oh, okay. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Okay. Well, okay. Well, I feel like I have nothing more to ask. Like, I don't know, unless you guys think I should be asking some more questions. Or
That was it. That was it.
She only gave you the one.
That was it.
Okay. Well,
she walks up to
it is
you.
late.
She walks up to you, looks down at you, and like no regard for personal space or protocol. She reaches her hand down and like touches the side of your face, and she like just looks right at you again with the eyes, the golden eyes, like just gazing right into yours. And she like, but her touch just feels like whatever, like feathers, like heaven, whatever. I mean, it's amazing. And she touches you, and she just says, "You have an amazing rest of your night." And then she just turns around and walks away.
Wow.
It's good for you. It's good for me.
Woo! Yeah. Okay. Man, that's crazy. It's crazy lady.
Okay. I knew she was trouble.
What do you mean? That was extremely kind and lovely.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Here's my battle axe. Don't touch me.
All right.
Interesting.
Well, we don't know any of this information, but
yeah, I know.
Are you good for the evening?
So yeah. I head back, and then I wake everybody up. Like, dude, guess what just happened? Ran into that crazy lady. Dude, we were this close to doing it.
That's awesome.
Where it's got half a star.
Pushing her.
Yeah,
I told her no.
They're all like,
Take it slow.
they're like, like I'm gonna believe any of that. That's so funny.
This sounds like some nights I've had before.
If I had $1 every time.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, this whole interaction that I'm just relaying to you is I'm just stuff from my own personal life. I mean, haven't you guys all had this where the lady comes up?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
No, I haven't.
Yeah. Highly recommend it. Okay, so you just had this encounter here. Are you good now, or?
Yeah. No, I want to head back to the tent and, I'll definitely relay everything to everybody. In the morning or whatever.
Okay.
I like immediately relaying. I like that, and then everybody gets back to bed.
Guys, guess what, guys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, might want to wait, interrupting Garrick and my sleep. We'll be tired tomorrow.
Nah.
That's true.
No, I won't be that harsh. I mean, mechanically, sure, but you guys aren't going to be woken up for hours in the middle. I mean, it's just like a little, guess
Now
what
I can't go to sleep.
Now Garrick's so jealous he can't go back to sleep. Okay, so we'll say that was the end of the evening here. Dorian goes back and relays the news, and just stunned beyond words. But then, he's rested, but there's not much else to do. So I'm gonna fast forward to the morning if you guys are all good with that.
Yeah.
All right. So morning rises here again at Amber's Peak, and the four of you wake up all rested and hungry, ready to eat. And you don't have to eat right now. You don't need to. I mean, but you guys all open the tent. And, you dress yourselves, of course, and you open the tent, and it is already, or even this early in the morning, before light, had you been awake at 4:30 in the morning when it was just the earliest crack of light in the sky. I mean, down here at the waterside, riverside, tents and stalls getting set up. There's people with music going already. There's some sort of celebratory ceremony getting set up here, and it's been going all morning. By the time you guys wake up, it's been getting set up for hours, and it's getting very bustly and very busy around here.
It's like a 4th of July parade, and everybody put out their chairs, reserving a spot.
Exactly. It's
Yeah.
it is that kind of exact feel of what's going on. It's a very everyone. There's kids. There's happiness. I mean, there is like people are getting excited. It's like this is like a really fun day.
People are sick. They're going to see someone die, and they're all excited, setting up their chair.
Be like, oh yeah, the ritual. Nothing's wrong. You just
Yeah,
put water
yeah.
on it, and then you to
I
the
know.
death. That's a separate part.
Yeah. Yeah.
The town secret.
Yeah. Yeah, it seems like, I mean, I don't know. Everybody seems to think like, oh, it's not a big deal. Even this marigold lady, but like, I don't know.
It just
There's
feels
gotta be
that-
something going on. It feels like
Zero
trap.
Former purposefully creating these fire beasts.
Yeah. You guys. I mean, that's a big revelation. That's
Yeah.
the origin of all these fire beasts is him.
So what's the point of this army then? Right. Interesting.
Oh yeah.
Okay, wait. She said like beasts to control in battle.
He's just been like how you infer it, and this is the reality of it is that he's kind of like a mad scientist here. He's trying to all like serpents, birds, boars, all kinds of different animals. He's infusing with this fire magic demonic energy to try and create just another part of his arm. He's got his horse lord army, but he's that's why no one's marching yet and moving is because he wants to build up this just another part of his war force is this beast army that can thrash and destroy things. So that's what he's been experimenting and trying to build and perfect these various kind of fire creatures. That's what he's been doing.
I wonder if he's gonna start like.
What's
Do
that?
the army people know
No.
that he's creating them?
No.
And aren't they battling them as well?
Yes.
Okay. So we could start some drama here.
Yeah, because what's happening is like every sometimes a couple of weeks, like how you saw that guy, the very first encounter, some poor ass homesteader out in the middle of nowhere got killed by one.
Murder.
They're like he's developing them, but he hasn't mastered it yet. He's they're not maybe obeying as much as they should or whatever. So that's why he keeps trying to work on it and kind of basically refine the process and settle. That's the once she said that, and you guys kind of recall, you guys talk amongst yourselves and you recall all the different things you've seen. That kind of is what you're going with, is that he's working on it, but he hasn't perfected it yet. And so, and he's not obviously talking about that. So as far as these people know, no one knows why these fire monsters are happening, but they keep killing people, one here, one there. Accidents happen, whatever the phrase, you break a couple eggs making omelets, or whatever, like, bad things happen, but whatever, this is the Forbidden Lands. No one lives forever anyway. And so, the horse people, the Galdanes and the Quards, it's not their job to go out and kill fire demons. Their job is to wage war for Zertorm whenever it's time. That's why people asked you to do it, or that's why that's so their primary job isn't to deal with this fire monster threat that's been happening here lately. That's not what they're here for primarily. So yeah, they don't know what's going on. They don't know what's going on about it either.
So I guess we gotta ask ourselves: do we consider Zeratorm now a major threat, and we gotta take him out? You know?
Doesn't sound like he wants to take us out unless he's concerned about us killing all his fire things.
My
Well,
only
this is-
thought is forced conscription. I think we're gonna go over there, and he's just gonna be like, "Oh, you guys did well. You could be a part of my army, or my sharks with laser beams on their heads could eat you."
Yeah.
While we're
Yeah,
stuck
I agree.
across the river. Can't get
Or
back.
Or
with
maybe,
the first wave of experimental soldiers that he's creating
yes,
into these
yes.
fire demons, and this ritual turn us into that.
exactly.
You guys
exactly.
you guys are so conspiracy theorists. God.
we are.
Which, hey, if we turn into fire demons, hey, it might be a whole different light. That's pretty
Yeah.
awesome.
Hey,
Let's do it.
I've already died once, man.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
I
I
turn
killed
to
myself.
Eric, and I tell him, "Look, in the long run, and my eye trails down to his foot, I can always freeze the river."
I like
Nice.
it.
I just shake my head too soon. Too soon.
I love it.
Sick bastard.
That is so good. Okay, so
Well,
you
if
guys,
we wanna
so
stop him, how
this
do we
is
stop
this.
him?
So you guys have just walked out of your tent, up into the morning light here, and you see all the festivities happening. What do you guys want to do?
I'm gonna go eat.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Do you want to
I wanna
Our
see-
last meal.
do it
see if there's,
yourself?
like elephant ears or something.
I'm just gonna rob a little kid that's eating something.
Of course you are, you little savage.
Take the cotton candy right out.
That's amazing. Do you really want to do that?
What?
Do you really want to do that?
Yeah, I just want to push him in the dirt and take it and walk off.
That's
Like,
awesome.
I'm having a day. I'm just gonna do this, live my life.
Okay, so you're walking like to the pavilion. You hear the sounds. You smell the smells of the food and everything. And stop me. I'm just gonna narrate what happens. But then if any of you guys want to do something, you interject. So the four of you are kind of recalling what's going on, and Dira is like leading the way, and leading with her stomach. She's hungry, and she sees this little orphan kid kind of seated on a perch there having his breakfast. There's no one around. He's like a little 7-year-old kid just sitting there, like his legs kind of kicking on the side of this step and everything, and he's just looking out of the water, taking a bite, and then Dira just walks up behind him and just palm right to the side of his head and just pushes him over, like with one hand like grabs the food, and with another hand palm right to the side of his little twerp head and just pushes him over, and like, and he just falls over, and he she has the food, just smirks and takes a chuckle, and he like looks in like abject terror and fear. He looks up and he looks around, like there's no one around. Like it's one of those where there's 100 people around, and at the same time there's no one around. Everyone's so busy. No one looks, no one looks at one specific. No one looks at one specific little event like that happens in a half a second. He looks around like what, and there's just noise and everything. And he looks up at Dira, just completely terrified, and just runs off into the crowd and disappears.
Yeah.
So now Dira has her breakfast. That's amazing. That is awesome. Yeah. That's so cool.
Yeah, I think I'll go and get something a little more honest like, but I love that energy. Oh god. That's awesome.
What the fuck?
That's amazing. This is content. This is good content.
So do we see Plaucus at all out here anywhere?
He's across the river. Plaucus is now out front. He's down, if you see on the map there, he's over here. This is every time you've ever seen him. He's been over here setting up the ritual. It's like for lack of a better word, it's an altar, but it's very modest. It's not it's very modest. Everything about the more and more you see about this ritual, and then the guys at the dinner were telling you when they did it. Everything about this is very modest and low key. You wear a robe, you put some water on the rock comes out, you wore it, and that's it. It's not, so the altar, quote unquote, is being set up again, and Palakis is there being his little sawed off bastard self, telling him how to do it just right, ordering these chords how to assemble it.
So, dear, you still have that bucket of some of that liquid that you gathered from the keep? Is that true?
I think it's on the cart, if anything.
I
The
believe so.
the fire stuff or whatever. The fire stuff that doesn't burn.
Yeah,
Oh,
she-
yes, I do.
She has the stuff that doesn't. It's not hot. It glows. I think I said it was yellow,
Yeah.
but that doesn't have like the ridiculous radiating heat coming off it. It's just a light. Yeah, you have like a big, whatever, 2-gallon pail of that in the cart.
Wonder if we could use that against Zeratorm somehow? I don't know.
Don't even know what it does.
Yeah.
Just that it has a crazy unnatural light.
Rub a little on that kid's neck. See what-
God, this poor kid.
Put this ointment on. It'll be okay.
Sprinkle a little on it. Watch.
That's so awesome.
Yeah,
While he's on the ground, you could salt bay it.
so at what point, I mean, I know it's still morning, but I mean, are we to, I don't know if we're given very much instruction by anybody, but, are we supposed to just go across the bridge and, be there like 11:30 to prepare? Or
Well, yeah. If you're on time, you're late. That's just a general rule. No, you weren't told anything. You were said that you were going to. Zertorm has said that the outsiders will be performing the ceremony, and the ceremony's at noon. That's all you know. So, do any of you want to eat or do anything like that now, or not? Dira's good.
Yeah.
yeah, I'd like to just find something to eat,
Okay.
some
Yeah,
sort
me
of
too.
meat.
So, do you want to go to the tavern, or? I mean, you don't have to go to the tavern. I mean, you can go down to the river. There's there's other. I mean, Augur there pretty well, but there's other things you can do besides going to the tavern.
Yeah, I mean, I like to go down by the river if there's like kind of the whole festivities and somebody's like cooking something out there.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah. No.
Just
Yeah.
to get a lay of the land.
What do you want?
Just like I'd really go for some like grilled skewered chicken. No, I don't.
For breakfast? I mean, you can.
Oh yeah, like chicken and waffles. That's what I'm looking for.
The people down at the river look at each other and go, waffle? Waffle.
Come on.
Like, where are you from?
Oh shit, what is our
You talk
village called?
You talk funny, boy. No, yeah. So I'll just say you guys all go down there to the river, and you guys, unlike Dira, you guys, just say it's like 5 copper for all of you to have. If one of you guys just wants to check your sheet, just do like 5 copper, and all 3 of you can have, some grub down there. It's like food carts, basically. There's all kinds of stuff down there, and you guys can pick what you want. So 5 copper, and all of you are fed. And Dira just looks at you all like you're all a bunch of pansies.
Pathetic.
You guys are so weak. Paying for your
Pick some little
food.
kid and steal his food.
There's all these bums out here, and you guys are paying bums. You guys are all, yeah. So she's, of course, unimpressed with you, sissies.
They'll never survive.
Yeah.
Guys are weak.
And so we'll say, so is there anything you want to, with this knowledge that you have of kind of what's been going on behind the scenes with the big guy, is there anything you want to do before the ceremony, or is there anyone you want to talk to or anything before the ceremony, or what?
God, I feel like we need to take him out, but I'm just not sure how, right? And so, and I don't know if anybody in town has any information. Uh, that guy, Augur, seventh cousin or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is he? He's back at the tavern.
Yeah, that's his business, and he's basically like the mayor. He's basically the mayor of the town as well. It's basically
Okay.
his town. Yeah, he's there. I mean, he's in the bar, but he's also like coordinating the setup, and he's kind of running the whole show as far as like this whole production of the ceremony. He's the head man for it all over here on this side of the river.
I guess I'd like to go to the tavern then and ask him, like, has he ever seen Zeratorm or knows anything about him?
Not really. I mean, you asked him that. I remember you asked him that when you first came into town, and no, he seen him like I think like a couple times, like never like face to face, like 1 foot away from him. Never, but like seen him at a distance a couple times, like during these ceremonies. Because this is a Thanksgiving thing that happens. Like he's seen him at that a couple times. Other than that, no.
Okay. What are you guys thinking?
Is Plakis just out there in plain view?
Yeah, he's across the river, ordering the court honor guard over there to how to set up the altar and get the ceremony details just right. Needle dicking them and nagging on them.
You could throw a rock at him.
If you can throw a rock that far.
Yeah. I don't know. What if we went up and tried to intimidate him?
Your turn?
Like,
Well, so you notice
Plakis.
again the river, or the bridge, I should say, across the river. You guys are across the river. He's not. I'm not going to say that again, but yeah, he's on the other side, and there's a drawbridge and guards posted, and there's no access across the river over the
Until
bridge.
11:45.
Is it obvious where the ceremony is going to happen? Is it going to happen on the
Like right here. That's where the
okay.
that's where the altar is. Well, that's where the altar. Again, like I said, it's such a bare bones, modest. It could be moved, but I mean, this is right here. That's where they're assembling it, and he's telling them just like this, just like that. So as far as you can tell, that's where it's going to happen.
It's like I kind of want to. I have no idea how we do this, but like it'd be awesome to kind of go with the ceremony, but like somehow like flip the script and like us be in control rather than them. But I don't know how we do that. I'm just talking out loud. Like,
Well, according
Thinking,
to them,
like, I mean,
the
what if-
ceremony is just the ceremony. The only difference is we're going to be deep in the territory of a mad scientist
With no weapons
and
or armor.
a
True.
angry, stunted man.
I mean, so as we cross the bridge and when we go to the ceremony, we're gonna be stripped of all armor and weapons.
You have no idea.
Do we know this? Oh, we have no idea.
Shush.
We'll say it's now. We'll say it's now 7:00. You guys have been milling around over here at the little fishing village, watching all the ceremony stuff, eating your breakfast. So we'll say it's 7:00.
I mean, if we caused dissent in his army before going over, yeah, we may have backup, but then somebody might tell on us and he might murder us, for that too. So
Airtight logic. All of that is possible.
But having the numbers and going against them.
If you really think
That
that you can convince the army not to follow him anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, how do
I mean,
we convince everybody that?
How many people have gotten killed by one of those creatures?
how many do
yeah.
you personally know? How many? One,
Oh, a lot.
two. I mean, you guys know.
Technically, one of those was our teammate who murdered himself.
That's true. He wouldn't have up and done that had it not been for the fire eagles and the fire boars out there.
Exactly.
True.
Just get civil unrest going.
It's always an option.
One of them got Uncle Jimmy.
So as you're standing there, I'll say you're down kind of at the riverside, down to this little dock area down there, and eating your food and just kind of wondering what are you guys gonna do. As Plocket, Joe, are you there? I'll wait for him to return.
Yes.
Here. Oh,
Yes,
okay.
I'm here.
Okay.
I'm
Okay.
here.
So yeah. So as you guys are having your breakfast and kind of discussing what about this, what about that, what should we do, and you see Palakis across the river. As he's the altar is constructed again, very bare bones, and it's got when in the final completed state. It's got a large recessed kind of hole in the middle where a stone could be placed into, and they would hold it there without it letting it roll around. It's got a place to capture a large roundish object. You can see that there. That wasn't there before. And then the honor guard have otherwise set up the altar, and so now that it's completed, and the honor guard all return to their tents. They're always in their tents unless they're doing something specific. They're in their tents at all times, and so now it's Palakis down at the altar, and as you guys are over on the other side eating and observing, you see Marigal come out from the keep. From over here, these doors open. You see Marigal come out from the keep and walk down and approaches Palakis and just starts talking. And she's laughing, and Palakis doesn't laugh. You've never seen him smile, but he looks stern and serious and pissed off like he always does. But from what you can tell from across the river, I mean, Marigal's just chatting him up like she seems to chat up everyone. She's laughing and just carrying on and talks to him for a good 10 minutes or so, and then she approaches the drawbridge and on her side, and they lower it immediately, and she just casually strolls across the drawbridge, or across the bridge, and as soon as she crosses, the drawbridge comes back up, and now its access is denied again, and then she just calmly walks across the bridge over to Augerville and walks right up to you guys.
No.
I have a plan.
Nice.
We convince Baragirl to defect against Zertorm and that this is evil, everything going on, and she needs to play some music and trance up the whole army to fight in our cause and go against him and destroy Zertorm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it. I like it. Drop the mic.
I don't know.
She walks up and she says, you guys are eating, and she's like, do you have your robes? Has someone given you your robes yet?
Look like it?
Nobody's told us anything. We don't know what's going on.
Oh,
She looks
that's
at-
what that was.
she-
I thought they were giving me a napkin.
She looks at Dira. And again, with the smiling and everything, but the eyes are like so
Entrancing?
no. They're extremely deadly looking. Extremely deadly looking. But she's smiling and laughing, but when she looks at Dira, and like maybe Dira is the only one that can see it, but her eyes are just extremely deadly looking while she's laughing and smiling. You know, it's for a fraction of a second, and then she's like, "So no one's given you your robes yet? I can get you fitted. Don't." And she before you guys even have a chance to say anything, she just puts her hand up. She's like, "You can keep your weapons on you. You don't have to. You're not unarmored. You know, you can keep your arms and armor on. Just put the robes on over everything.
Okay.
We can get you your robes now if you're ready." And she's just looking at you.
Chauffeur,
So,
not quite yet.
Okay, when you're ready, cross the bridge.
I'm just I'm ready if you guys are. It doesn't matter. Let's just get this over with and hope we all survive.
Yeah, in a way, it kind of seems like this is our path forward, you know, and we just have to trust that we can fight our way out of it or whatever happens.
I don't know. Can we confide in her and maybe get her
Sure.
on our side? Because man, she'd be quite the insurgent weapon with all of this, right?
Yeah, I don't know, and maybe that's the strategy. Just like straight up honest with her. It's like, hey, look, we were in the keep. We know what's going on.
Yeah, but she just flat out told you that she knew that this guy is making these creatures, and she doesn't seem to care at all.
I'm trying to remember.
Happy.
I always, before we have our little play time here, I try to like rewatch some of the stuff so I can remember what all I've told you. But I mean, so I don't want to say, I want to give you guys a chance to figure it out, but do you remember, have you guys taken notes on like, who is he even fighting? Do you guys even know yet?
Yeah,
Yeah,
he told us the name. He's
Another Z.
Zertorm, and then the other one's like
Zigafor?
Zolgeist or something like that.
Okay. And so so you know like what this army's ostensibly for. He's not, you know what I mean? Like he's building this to go, and you know Zygofer is, from what you've heard, the reason that these lands are ruined and destroyed and overrun with demonic creatures and beings is because Zygofer unleashed them. Zygofer, many years ago, Zygofer unleashed the demonic horde into the Forbidden Lands, into Raven's Land, and they've been terrorizing the countryside ever since, before the Blood Mist. And you know, these demons are still there, and they need to get killed, and Zygofer needs to be destroyed. And that's what Zertorm is doing. That's what he's trying to do, he's trying to build up an army strong enough to march west and kill Zygofer and rid the land of all this this infestation of demonic. That's what he's doing. So he's not, you know what I mean? He's not
releasing demons. He's
so we got it all wrong.
So, you know, so it's like, okay, well, maybe he's trying to literally maybe fight fire with fire. He's trying to create things that can actually, and remember, when you guys first got to town here, what was Viridia doing? She was trying to teach her people how to be fearless and work, because she knew what they were up against. These demonic, they're not going against people. They're going against demonic hordes and God knows what else, you know, and people are going to be killed and terrified and brutalized, and it's going to be a god-awful nightmare. And so she's trying to steal the will and the nerve of her people, because she knows, or thinks she knows, what they're going to be facing against. So they got that, and they got this other horse army that they're not really allied with, really. And so now you learn that Zertorm, maybe he doesn't trust his army as enough. So now he knows he needs to like go to the dark side and make some super beasts so he can, you know what I mean? It's more complicated. He's not just a bad guy, as far as you can tell. He maybe has things that is objectionable, but you recall what he's supposed to be fighting against is this demonic horde that's just ravaged the lands. So with that kind of a bigger scope in mind of what these are just the players that you know about so far. I mean, Zygofer, you know what I mean? So Zertorm, it's like, do you want to destroy him? I mean, what yeah, you know what I mean? So with that knowledge now, so she says see you at noon, and your robe, cross the bridge and grab your robes when you're ready, and the ceremony begins at noon. And
I'd like to ask her real quick before she goes. Are we going to get a chance to meet Zertorm after the ritual?
She says, I don't know. We've not done this before with outsiders. I've never seen it with outsiders. I don't know.
Is it going to be different?
She says, I don't think so. That the ritual's the same every year. This year Zertorm has just ordered different people to do it, but he didn't say that the ritual has to be different. It's just that the people doing the ritual are different this year. That's all.
All right, so yeah, I think they stick to our original plan of just go through with it.
Let's do it.
Hopefully, more information presents itself as we go forward, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
We'll
agree.
be able to have our weapons,
I reluctantly agree.
Well, say that again, Dorian.
I reluctantly agree.
Okay.
We just go for it.
So we'll get to it.
Yeah, I'd like to have my knife on me, my longbow with some arrows.
Yeah. You guys have all your. So we'll fast forward to. We'll just say it's 11 o'clock now. Is there anything you guys else want to do in the morning here before we get to it? Anything at all? Do you want to go talk to people, or anything? You guys, I'm not trying to rush you along. Is there anything else you want to
No.
go figure stuff out, or try to convince people to do this, that, and the other, or what do you guys want to do?
No.
I can't.
I think I'm good.
Yeah.
Okay, so
First
we're ready.
I wanted to turn everybody against, but no. Okay, yeah.
Okay, so we'll say now it's 11 o'clock, and you can just tell it's time. Word's gotten around everywhere in Augerville and everything that, you four, these outsiders, are the ones performing the ceremony, the ritual this year, and people kind of give you a wide berth. Not that they're fearful or anything. They're just like, it's, from what you can tell, it's like a respectful, like, oh, you are the chosen people, like you are the ones honored to do this kind of a vibe. Nothing super serious and creepy. It's just like, oh, you guys are the stars of this thing. You guys are kind of lucky, like you guys get to be the ones. And so 11 o'clock rolls around, and the four of you cross the bridge. And this time when you cross, while you're halfway across, the drawbridge opens, and behind the drawbridge is Palakis and Marigal. They're both there. And you guys, the four of you, cross over, and the drawbridge rises up and shuts behind you. So now you're right over here. And says welcome. Marigal says welcome. You'll see this will be a fun, and it'll just be a fun afternoon. You'll see it's a celebration. You all, you ate well down there. This is just a celebration to Flo, thanking her for providing this bounty that never ceases to provide. It's an endless bounty that we're given here, and so we're grateful that you are partaking this year. Palakis is not saying anything. He's just looking up at all of you. He's like much shorter than Dorian even. He's like a little bastard. He's just looking at you all pissed. And he says, but she turns and looks down to Palakis and says, High Priest, give them their garments. And so Palakis never does anything himself. He turns and he motions to the honor guard cord tent, and the guard goes inside and gets the other guard out, and they approach you with 4 garments and tell you to go in the tent and prepare yourselves.
Okay. Yeah, go in there and
So you guys are all go in. If you guys all are you just gonna go and do everything he says? Do you want to give him any smart aleck remarks or do anything or what?
I'd like to ask Palakis, why do you look so pissed all the time?
Why do you look so stupid all the time?
Yeah.
That's what he says to you.
Oh, that's what? No,
Oh, that's good.
you didn't answer my question, little man.
Oh,
You're not smart enough to understand. I don't know why you're a part of this.
I don't know why they keep you around.
interesting. Interesting. Smart enough to understand.
Zertorm
Okay,
loves
what?
Zertorm loves me. He doesn't love you. You're dismissed. Go into your tent and change. And he just
After
turns.
this ritual, he'll love us more than he's ever loved you.
So he says that to you, and he just like he hates you guys. You don't know why. He hates everything. It seems like, except Zertorm, and he dismisses you to the tent, and the 4 of you go in and shut the flap, and there's 2 attendants in there, and they just help you. Again, it's very simple, but it's kind of like a ritual. You put the 4 of you, again, stop me at any time if you want, but the 4 of you now spend the next 45 minutes, let's say, putting this robe on and doing like a ritual cleansing of your hands. It's just preparing, getting ready. There's another priest from the Galdanes who is also there in this tent, and she's saying these words that don't mean anything to you, language you don't understand, and she's just like doing some sort of benediction or a blessing to flow, and she's just kind of talking over all of you. And now it's now you hear commotion, you hear yelling from inside the tent, you hear music blaring, you hear instruments being played, and so now she says, okay, it's time, and you step out. The 4 of you open the tent, or the tent is opened before all of you, and the 4 of you all step out in unison. The 4 of you step out, and when you step out, there's music being blared from the other side, back in Augerville, on that side. That's where all like the spectators are watching this whole thing. The whole city, the army, everything is all turned out. Many. Everyone who lives here is turned out on the river, and the 4 of you step out. And as soon as you step out, just raucous, loud cheering and hollering and just a celebratory yes, just this huge throng of people screaming and shouting and happy. Everyone's just like super thrilled and psyched to see you guys come out. Your robes are like ceremonial, like super fancy. I mean, they're very modest in their. They're very plain. There's nothing on them. There's no writing. There's no symbols. There's nothing. It's just a pure white cloth. But whatever it is, the fabric is extremely plush and very nice. And like the sunlight hits it. It's bright white. I mean, it's kind of cool. And so you guys step out, bright white, and you hear to your left there. The altar is right in front of you. And to your left, when you look across the river, a huge throng of people screaming and cheering and shouting and just happy as can be. Palakis is standing, and Marigal. They're both standing on both sides of the altar, and there's a big recession in the middle that can hold this stone. And then to your right, you see. Up on the battlement here, you see a person. You look over that way. The keep doors open, and down this pathway comes this rock. It's large. It's about 5 feet tall. It's very circular. They're rolling it down this hill toward this altar, and it's very unusual looking. Like if it's a stone, it's like the most spherical, perfect circular stone you've ever seen. It doesn't look like a large rock. It's a very circular stone, spherical. And they roll it down, and these honor guard steer it with like sticks and big pikes. They kind of wedge it into place, and now it is like firmly nestled into this recessed part of the altar. Then with the sticks and the big logs that they use to drive it and steer it, they now remove those out. Now that the stone is secured in place, they remove those logs, and in perfect, this is the stuff that Palakis was hammering them and drilling them on. These honor guard, they take them out in perfect unison. It's like a perfect synchronized motions here, and all at the same speed at the same time. These long rods, wooden rods, come out, and then they put them horizontal and put them under the stage and insert them underneath, and then take torches and light all of these on fire under the stage. So now all this wood is amassed under the stage, and immediately, and there's kindling and other things you can't see under where the rock is being held, tinder and kindling and things that are under there ready to burn. So when these honor guard start lighting the fire, it catches immediately, and it gets hot very fast, and it burns very quickly. And as soon as the first hit of the first sight and the smell of smoke is in the air, and you guys can smell it right there, again, you look over and the crowd just starts cheering and screaming. It's getting more and more excited. It's awesome. Palakis and Marigal are standing 5-10 feet back, removed from the rock, up on the stage, though, just very solemn, not saying anything. And as the heat starts building and building, you guys are not at the altar yet. You're still 30 feet away. The heat starts building, and you can start feeling the warmth from where you're at. Do any of you want to do anything right now, or do you just want to stand there and observe? You've not been summoned or told to do anything yet. Do you just want to
So, if we look off to the keep, do we see any evidence of Zeratorm or that lady?
You don't see the lady, but on the battlement up here, you see a man, from all you can tell, wearing just head-to-toe gleaming armor. Helmet, shining, resplendent, like light bouncing off like a mirror finish. He's standing up there by himself. You see someone. The heat is building. The heat is building and building and building. This rock, the base of the rock now, and as the honor guard are stationed at these big poles here, and as they're whatever is in there burning is like extremely burning, more than just a campfire. It is like
Almost seems supernatural.
it's a furnace in there, and these logs are sticking. They were sticking out 20 feet from both sides of the stage, and these 4 guards. There's 4 logs, and each log has a guard member, and they are feeding it in and pushing it in to keep this fire raging and going underneath. And the rock underneath is glowing. It is now. It's in a matter of a couple of minutes. Now the whole bottom half of the rock is glowing like orange. It's extremely hot, and now. And you can just, it's like watching the temperature rise on a thermometer. You can see like the heat just keeps going up and up. This 5-foot tall egg, it's now like at the 4-foot. Now the whole egg is dark orange. It's outrageously hot.
So where is the water in relation to this? Is it close by? Is
There's
there
a
buckets or something? Or-
I forget. There's a what's the word? A cask of water, a wooden trough set up to the side of the stage with four. They look like oars or paddles. They look like giant spoons. Is what they look like. They look like a spoon of a giant. Is what it really looks like. But you can't tell if there's some sort of oars or something for a ship. But they've got a curved underneath, and there's four stuck in water. And this trough is like 3 feet tall. It's good. It's got an enormous amount of water in it. And so now that the egg is completely orange, Palakis takes a step forward, and he's like sweating. He's extremely hot. Marigal, she's there. She doesn't take a step forward, but I mean, anyone who's near this thing is hot because this thing is it's outrageously hot. Palakis takes a couple steps forward, and he's on a little elevated thing so everyone can see him easier. And he says, blessings to Flo. The heat gives us warmth, and it's the fire is what we need, to survive out here. But the water from Flo is what keeps us alive and nourishes us. Let the water flow, he shouts out, and he says it again. He's saying it mostly to you, but then he turns again. He turns toward Zertorm first, and he says, "Let the water flow." And he puts his hand up, and you guys all look over to the person up on the ledge in the armor, and you hear, "Let the water flow." You hear it like a booming, a crazy voice. You hear "Let the water flow." It's booming, and it's like a megaphone, but it's not. It's just some guy up there yelling. And as soon as you hear "Let the water flow" from up there, you guys look back. It's like extremely loud to you, and everyone across the river just starts screaming and cheering. It's like this is the moment. So now Marigal now steps up, and she's standing next to Palakis, and she very kind of ornately, rigidly, ceremonially with her hands beckons the four of you to come forward, and then points down to the oars to retrieve water and start laving the rock.
Okay. And we were instructed to pour it over the rock.
Yes. Each one of you pour over the rock 3 times.
So, just thinking to myself here, maybe this may be something we discussed as a group before, but what if we don't pour it over the rock and instead we put out the fire that's keeping the rock warm? I don't know.
You can't.
Let's just follow through.
Well, you can't actually. How the rock is recessed into this thing. You can't actually get to the fire. It's under the stage.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'll go up and I'll grab an oar and scoop up some water and.
All 4 of you grab an oar.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
Okay, so you all get up there. As you guys get up there, and you guys approach the stage, it's unbelievably swelteringly hot. You guys are sweating. It is the heat radiating off this is preposterously hot. What the hell is this water even going to do? This thing is so hot. This water's not even going to do anything. But I'll say the 4 of you, not perfectly because you haven't practiced this, but the 4 of you get your oars here with probably a couple gallons of water each, and then you raise up and you all you try to synchronize it and coordinate it, and you all splash on, and the water, of course, just immediately vaporizes off before it hasn't even done anything yet. So that's splash 1. Now you hear, as soon as that splashes off, you hear, "Let the water flow," from up the man in the armor up there. You hear it again. You reach down again, I'll just narrate what happens. You guys tell me if you guys want to do something else. So you guys go down. The four of you reach down with your oars and take up splash number 2, and you guys have that at the ready. And you hear, "Let the water flow," and the four of you, again at the same time, the splash, and now the top of the very top of the rock kind of turns a little bit of a color. It's kind of cooling off. It looks like, but the rest of it, the base of it's still horrifically hot. And now you go for the final splash, and you don't hear "let the water flow." You don't hear anything. But then, so you guys get the water, and you all at the same time, you guys throw the third splash on top of this rock, and right as like you hear "let the water" and then flow. Like, again, this is already like booming megaphone volume that people across the river can hear him yelling. That's how loud it's. Insane loudness yelling, and you hear "let the water flow," like he screams that word "flow" right when the third splash of your guys' water hits the rock, the top of the rock, and the water hits it and vaporizes off, and now it's like dead silent. I mean, all you hear now is like the crickling, the crackling of the fire under the rock, but the music over there is stopped. Everyone across the river is completely silent. Palakis and Marigal both retreat back to where their original positions were, like 10 feet behind. They're away now. Now the four of you are standing right at this rock, and it is like pin drop dead silent. And you hear a crack.
Slowly start taking steps back.
You hear a crack.
I retreat.
Oh, okay. This rock is like the egg of some beast, possibly. Maybe?
We just cooked it.
Yeah. I like to take some steps back.
Before you take any steps, before you take any steps back, you heard a crack that caught your attention. Then you heard, like a second or two later, you heard a louder crack. And now, kind of when he screamed the word "flow" and that third water hit, the whole top half of this rock split in two and split open. So now the bottom half is intact. The whole top half is like split open completely and sheared open. And you hear this god-awful, insanely loud scream of a creature. And we'll stop right there.
Everybody roll for initiative.
Yeah, I know, exactly.
What I want you guys to do is go up there and unleash the beast. Bastard. Oh, that's good. That's good.
Oh my god.
Right.
But it, like, I mean, maybe this is
We're
good.
close,
Maybe
we're
this is a good
close.
thing.
Maybe
Maybe
we should have.
I guess we just don't know what the intentions are. I mean, maybe this is a
How
beast for
this in
good.
Dragon Slayer, right? I mean, to where they tie up the virgin and then the dragon comes out and eats her.
Yep.
Damn it.
But I'm the virgin here.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Don't be so modest. No, just kidding.
That's awesome.
Oh, that's awesome, man. Awesome description.
man.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah, very good.
Good.
I'm just like,
That's amazing.
You guys weren't saying anything, so I'm like, say something, or I guess not. I'll just keep going until you guys say something. But you guys were not. I was like, hopefully. This
No, we're locked in, man.
okay.
yeah.
I was just like, hopefully this is not like. I was like half of you don't have cameras. I'm like, are you guys just like yawning here, or like, it's like.
No.
Okay, that's cool.
My camera. I was having internet issues with my camera on, so I had to turn it off.
That's cool. No, yeah, as long as it was.
I kept flip.
Yeah, just as long as it was fun. I mean, that's cool. That's
No,
cool.
extremely
It
cool.
was, definitely.
Extremely cool.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I hope you're not having to like spoon feed us information. It's hard to tell, but I mean, I don't know. I mean,
no. I mean,
I feel like sometimes maybe I'm slow at grasping like the bigger overall plot and things going on, and then like you say, we're conspiracy theorists making up our own.
Yeah, we
DPS
are. We are.
plans.
No, yeah, I mean that's just a highlight. You guys are the PCs who know. She's just a soldier. That doesn't really have conspiratorial thoughts about anything. She has no reason to. But no, I thought that was good. I mean, when you guys left the keep without really learning anything, and I was like, I don't know if they're even going to go back there. I mean, they know something weird ass craziness is going on, but you guys didn't really explore it as much as you could have. You still, I mean, technically you still could. I mean, what's going to happen next isn't a guaranteed thing. There's a number of different things that could happen. Kind of depends on what you guys do. But, so I was like, well, had they stayed in the keep and kind of poked around something, not necessarily, but their chances are quite high that you could have learned all kinds of things, honestly. But so that's why I gave you that little, like, she'll tell you something. She'll tell you one thing, because there's many things that you could have perhaps gleaned had you been more in the keep. But I just didn't want it to be something like another whole episode of, like, you guys trying to find answers and just coming up with nothing again, and just more, like perpetuating this mystery that never ends because you guys haven't done things just right perfectly. So I was like, there's got to be a way. So I was just like, let's get on with it and see what happens. So
That's good. That's good.
It's awesome. It's awesome.
You always forget, right, that the game master knows so much more lore and everything, obviously, than the players, and and it's just we gotta dig deep more to find that lore.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like have you guys earn it, but then it's just try not to be just a slave to the book or whatever, because that's not fun. Like, no, I can't tell them something unless they get right to this right building, the right room of this right building, and they look in the drawer here and they find, that's lame.
Yeah.
It's like that's never going to happen, and that's just stupid to sit here and punish people and not let them get going with the story just because they didn't do the thing the way the book outlined that it's going to happen, So we're not going to do that. And it's like just officially, like, that's not even what's going on with this. It's not like you guys miss something per se. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff. And again, this is just the first adventure site. That's why I'm like, this game could take years, honestly. It could. It really could. I mean, this is one adventure site from this campaign. I think there's like 10. You know what I mean? And we've gotten however many hours out of this thing already. This is like one
of those
yeah. So it's like
those old groups that are like, oh, I've been playing with my D&D group for 42 years.
We started in the year 2024. Like, what?
No way, Grandpa. That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So at some point it's like I'm trying to decide, or I guess I'm just letting you guys lead, like how gritty, I guess, and like granular do you want to be about it? Because the other groups and stuff that I've talked to, or the GM guys, they're like, like my group has like real bad ADD and they want to play a new game like every 3 weeks, and so I played this whole campaign in like 10 episodes. I was like, how? Holy shit! I was like, how? He's like, I just cut out a bunch of stuff and kind of like streamlined it, so they got the huge plot point hits, so it was a satisfying thing. But he's like, I can't have, my group will not sit here and play one game forever. They just get too bored, and so they had to have something new. And so he condensed this whole thing, and he had a post about what he did to condense it all down into 10 episodes. And I'm like, I guess, and he's like, I mean, if they had fun, it was awesome. But I'm like, dude, but then there's other guys, like, because this game came out, 2018 or 19 or something. It's been out for a few years. And there's like, but then there's other guys that are like, we've only been on 2 adventure sites and we've been playing this game like 3 years.
Really?
Trying to run the campaign. But it's like this whole, because there's all these other things. You guys can build a stronghold. There's all just the mechanics of surviving out in the wilderness that are a game of themselves. This is just the plot of the campaign, but there's this whole other game that exists outside of a narrative-driven campaign that whatever freeform, free flow
Sandbox.
sandbox because the player's guide or the GM guide, I think even the player's guide has all this like randomly generated table content that is really good. So like you
I
guys
love that stuff.
you can just like go find some sort of castle or a dungeon or something that has nothing to do with the campaign, and if you guys stumble upon it, then I can sit here and click and build something and run a run episodes off that. I mean, there's all this sandboxy stuff, and you guys can just go wherever you want at any time and talk to whoever you want. It's not a railroady thing at all. So I mean, this game it's as much game as you want there to be. I'll just put it that way.
That's
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, I mean,
That's
even
cool.
feels like now. I mean, it's I don't feel like a railroady campaign whatsoever. I mean, it feels
Yeah, and but then
sandboxy with
I mean,
some sort of plot going on, also,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
feels good.
I definitely don't feel bored either on the other side of it. Like, I mean, maybe it's because it's so sandboxy that you can kind of do whatever. That's a lot of fun in itself.
Yeah.
So I don't feel like I have to like move forward with the storyline to have fun. You know?
Yeah, exactly. That's what.
Yeah.
I wasn't really
I
sure
think
what
that's
to
what's cool
I
about
wasn't sure what to think about this game when I first heard about it, because I'm like, it's just a fantasy RPG. There's like a million of those and whatever. There's nothing special about this. But then yeah, it's like you're not just railroaded into the story and you have to run it off the campaign, and otherwise there's nothing to do, nothing really fun to do. There's all kinds of super fun things to do that you can just come up with on your own, and you can just, and it's like you don't have to join this guy. You didn't have to join that dwarf lady. You can tell everyone to F off, and because you're not heroes, you're not like saving the
Hey,
world.
this ain't our fight.
You don't have to do anything. You can just be like raiders, marauders. You can be freaking psychos like Dira and just like punch little kids. You can do whatever you want. It can have all kinds of fun. You're not bound to play along with the plot that way. You can do whatever you want. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is cool.
Now in
Yeah,
hindsight, I
that's
wish
good.
we didn't put the water on the rock. I should have gone with my plan of putting out the fire.
I mean, everyone told you it was safe. So
Freaking liars! Well, this may
I'm
be
sure
like a
it's
cute
a-
little beast. We'll find out.
Yeah,
We'll
yeah.
see.
I'm sure it's a cute little baby beast that
Yeah.
means no harm.
A
to
perfectly spherical rock, like completely not natural looking. Yeah. Yeah.
What could possibly go wrong?
Yeah.
anybody. Yeah. Oh boy.
All right, you guys. Well, it was fun to play.
All right.
So
Yeah,
Yeah.
always
we'll
fun.
try
Yeah.
again. We'll try to
Definitely
go
enjoyed
next
it.
week. Good. I'm glad you guys are having fun. I'm having a blast. So that's really cool. We'll try to.
Curious, did you guys ever set up multiple screens at all?
No, I
Monitors? No.
haven't. I haven't.
We
It's
haven't. No.
it's down.
Not yet.
It's down at the side of my desk. I'm looking right. I'm like, no, I haven't had time.
I ain't got
I have
time.
I have to make
I guess
time,
I
but
have way too much time.
Hey, you need
I
to
wish
get,
I
like, a
was
hub or
you.
something.
I wish I was you. Good
Alright.
Lord. One day I'll have tons of time. Maybe we'll see.
Yep, my oldest is in Japan and my youngest is asleep and has tomorrow off. And yeah, I mean, my kids don't need my help anymore. Tell you what.
Well, then you're doing it right.
Yeah, I've raised them well. Hopefully, I don't know.
That's good.
So fun. That's great.
All right, you guys. Well, we'll see you next time, and thanks for playing. It was really fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's have a
All
good
right. Hey, see you guys.
one. Bye.
Later.
Yeah.
Have a good one. Bye.